No one can stop you from complaining when you are sick. You're welcome, viewers. In our last episode, we dealt with uh, the gallery of Ghanaian celebrities. Today, we're going to page 9 of the same paper, PMP, edition being June 5 to 8th, 2003. Well, about 20 years today, yes, about 2003 to 2013. Uh, what I promised to read was True Love. This True Love, that's it, under my fingers. And then the other stories follow. You can see them. Okay. So, Namshi, True Love. Over the years, many people who have gone through heart-throbbing and breathtaking experiences send us their pieces to be published. Finally, we bring a newly designed page, True Love Confessions, filled with true life experiences of Ghanaians and readers will learn and benefit immediately from. Sorry, that that readers will learn and benefit immensely from. You don't miss a page for anything, would you? You won't miss a page for anything, would you? It's asking me and asking you, viewers. Hmm? Okay. To add more spice to the page, lyrics of beautiful and heartwarming love songs will not be left out. I'm not saying it, the paper is saying it. Hmm? Okay. Relax and enjoy reading. Yes, I add relax in your beds. Huh? Relax late night, early morning, afternoon, anytime, outside, on vacation, anywhere, relax and enjoy reading. So that's it. My first love. Interesting, isn't it? My first love. Okay, let's see. Uh, I think that's why I refuse to let these papers go. People told me to sell them, and these are women to sell them to them so that they will sell food stuff with it. That's when we didn't have nylon bags. I said no. Okay, believe and love. Who is the writer? Sina Tessano. Sina Tessano. Believe and love. I would like to share with you the most extraordinary feeling I'm experiencing. Full stop. It all began when Nana Afriye and I met one Sunday afternoon in the year 2000. 2000, sorry. 2000. That's 2000. Paragraph. He immediately grabbed my attention the first time I saw him, not only by the way he introduced himself so politely, but also for showing himself so charming and loving. We became friends, but didn't speak for several months later until late that same year. Why? It's discussing why. She's not going to tell us why. Because his dad had to travel to South Africa for some months and he needed to go with him. Full stop. But when we found each other again, we got more acquainted with each other. We both felt some way in inverted commas. We both felt some way the first minute. So we both felt some way the first minute. So after a while, we knew and realized that this would go beyond the normal relationship. So although afraid of this type of relationship, we got armed with courage and declared our love. Since that moment, he has become the meaning of my life. A dream that came true on July 5th, 2002, full stop. I clearly remember because I remember entering the date in my diary. Obviously, our anxiety kept us moving each day, hoping that the days would go fast, 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 daydreaming of the moment when we would see ourselves in each other's arms rather than comforting our souls with pictures. He sent me pictures often. He was now resident in South Africa because he got enrolled in one of the universities there when they went there the first time. Nana Afriye to me that that during his holidays he would pay me a visit in school, and true to his word, he did, and I was in my hostel one fine day when he visited. He said he'd like to spend a few wonderful days with me. Luckily, my roommates had all gone home, so I just couldn't inconvenience anybody. I stayed on to finish with my project work. It was like heaven on earth with him, and I wished it wouldn't end. Kai, remain and laugh, and I wish it wouldn't end. Unfortunately, he had to go back, but before he left, he made me a promise. Comma, he would come for me right after his education so we could settle together in South Africa. Our love was real. Time was past. Sorry, time has passed, and today, with a mutual savings account, and with that, hopes are very high. Full stop. But with all our future plans in mind and love in our hearts, we hope to live together as husband and wife soon. Thank God we believe that it could become real, and most of all that we believed in each other's love. Full stop. He sent me a mail this year, and I'd love to share a bit of it with you. That's an excited lady. Mm. She's with you, darling. My mom wants to see you. Hey, wonderful. Mm. The man wrote, darling, my mom wants to see you. She says she'll help me with getting you a plane ticket and coming here to spend a few weeks with us. I leave you to imagine the way I felt. Yes, that's the one he's saying. I leave you to imagine the way she felt. He's leaving listeners, he's leaving viewers to imagine the way she felt. Hmm? I'm also putting some money by not to put so much pressure on my mom-in-law and for my mom-in-law to be and my husband to be. I never stop believing. Sina Tessano. End of story. Uh, pardon me. Uh, Next story. Her big, beautiful eyes. Her big, beautiful eyes. Yes, one man's meat is another man's poison. Somebody too will say big eyes they don't like. But this one says her big, beautiful eyes. Okay, story. Who is the writer? In case I forget to do that afterwards. Regimanuel KB Regimanuel Estate. KB Regimanuel Estate. Regimanuel Estate should be a place, and KB is just initials of the boy's name. Her big, beautiful eyes. When I first saw those big, beautiful eyes, it was like a magnet to my heart. Kai! I almost melted at the sight. I don't know why these people like melting, melting, melting. She rolled my nipples and I melted. Eh? And this one to say what? She, I knew that I almost melted at the sight. I love the word melted now. They made me like the word melted. Hmm? I think I should be using it always. Uh, I almost melted at the sight. I knew the girl, but I had never met her in person. She was a princess in my sight. Paragraph. I first saw her in a shop. I had heard about her from some friends and yearned to see her. Full stop. Boy, apostrophe. When I did see her, she was like a bright glow of light. She was so very beautiful that Kib's arrow struck my heart. I remember the story. This because of this cubic arrow. I remember the story. That Kibi's arrow struck my heart. I strongly felt I was infatuated because I hardly knew her and couldn't have trusted my heart for falling in love. I tried hard to control myself, so I said hello to her and left her. Full stop. He was afraid, like myself, mm, and left her. Just when I was about to open the door to the shop and go out, I heard her calling me. Da, 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 da. Hello, gentleman. Excuse me. I turned and went to her when it was obvious she needed me. Paragraph. When I got to her, she told me she needed a few cedis to add to her money. Thank goodness I had enough on me, so I gave her what she wanted. She told me she used her mother's car so she would give me a lift home. This was a trick by the woman. Huh? She told me she used her mother's car so she would give me a lift home. Yes, uh, this is a knife and meat palaver. This is a knife and meat palaver. Uh, meat presents itself for the knife to cut. Nyam. Mm, okay. I'll give me a lift home. I hopped into the car when she paid for the things she had bought. We started a wonderful conversation, and I realized she was nice to talk to. She had beautiful eyes. I kept looking at in at. She had beautiful eyes. I kept looking at anytime she talked to me. Full stop. She took me to my house, and we exchanged phone numbers. When I got home, my heart kept reminding me about love, and indeed, I felt I was in love with her. Full stop. Paragraph. We called each other often, and we became close friends. We started going out 2 years ago, and I'm contemplating marriage. Full stop. I will always love my big-eyed Antoinette, and will always and will always cherish the day we met. She will always be my number one girl, and Annette. Remember, sorry, my number one girl, football. Annette, remember, I still got my eyes on you. So I hope Annette is alive and listening. Though time must have battered her face and beauty, and her luxurious eyes may turn into something else. That's the power of nature, the power of God. So, Annette, if you are listening, this piece of KB is getting into your ears, I believe. Hmm? All right. Uh, let's go to the third story. Just too painful. Headaches. The title is Headaches. Just too painful. All right. I met Ebenezer. Who is the writer now? Who is the writer? Let's see. The writer is Kwansima Achimota, Accra, Ghana. Kwansima, who is in Achimota, or who was in Achimota, Accra, Ghana. Hmm? I met Ebenezer at a New Year's Day in his church. It was love at first sight. We were just pen pals. I started going to his church, hoping to run into him one day. That was when, in one of the letters to me, that was when, in one of his letters to me, told me he attended church in Accra. I attended church in Tema. Though it was quite far, I simply just wanted to meet him in person. After a while, Eben started coming over to my house with his friend. I tried so hard to get to him, but it was like he didn't like me. We saw each other quite often because he started an attachment in Tema. After he graduated from school, he left for Cape Coast to work. I wrote to him often, and he wrote back to me too. After paragraph, after 2 years of him coming home and going back and not proposing, I gave up on him and decided to go out with my ex-boyfriend who had long sought a comeback. Full stop. Soon after, I began to light up my love with my old flame. Lai Momo, Lai Momo, Lai Momo, let me say Lai Momo. Eben wrote and proposed to me. Wow. So you see what women go through, eh? To leave the ex-boyfriend now again, or to forget Lai Momo. Let's see, or to forget Eben. Let's go. Let's read on. Proposed to me, informing me that he had been shy all that while. That was why he didn't propose to me when we met. Apparently, he saw the girl and the former boyfriend together and said, "No, if I don't talk, I'm going to miss my gold." Huh? Okay, that's why he didn't propose to me when we met. Again, he stated that he didn't know how to deal with it and that he liked me even though he had heard that I had gone back to my ex. I told you, he wished me well. I nearly cried, but how could I just break up with my ex when things had just begun to go smoothly? Oh, women have problems. Men have problems to solve with men. Hmm? Even today. Okay. I liked my ex and was learning to love him, but I loved Eben. But I loved Eben, full stop. We kept on writing to each other, even though initially Eben found it hard to accept the fact that I was going out with someone else. Paragraph. In his latest letter to me, he was happy to inform me that he had found a new love of his life. It was terrible for me, but I just couldn't tell him I felt jealous. He never got the hint I was interested in him and thought I would be happy for him. And thought I would be happy for him. Sorry, let me take that again. He never got the hint I was interested in him and thought I would be happy for him. That was that has been my headache. And to stop it all, my ex has started behaving funny, as though he has met another person. It's just too painful. Is what fate has is it what fate has in store for me? Kwansima Achimota. So a lesson for the girls. And also the men. It happens vice versa. Hmm? Just the moment you are trying to forget somebody, he comes back and tells you he's shy. He was shy. Was shy to propose to you. The shyness vanishes when he sees you with another competitor. Ma- Well, it's a sad story anyway. So, Kwansima Achimota, if you are there, I hope you're reading this story. Hmm? You might be old now, but I sympathize with you. May all be well with you. I believe all is well with you now. So, this is a love song that was talked about in the introduction. Love song for those of us who love music. These are the lyrics. Uh, if leaving me is easy, Phil Collins. If leaving me is easy in inverted commas, in double inverted commas, Phil Collins. Now it goes. And though it's past now and the words start to fade, all the memories I have start all the memories I have start still remain. I've kept all the pictures, but I hide my feelings so no one knows. Oh sure my friends all come round. Oh sure my friends all come round. But I'm in a crowd of my own. It's cause it's so cause because it's cause you're gone now, but your heart still remains, and it will be here if you come again. Oh my God! You see, I'd heard the rumors. I knew before. I'd heard the rumors. I knew before you let me know, but I didn't believe it. Not you. No one would not let me go. No one would not let me go. Seems I was wrong, but I love you the same. And that's the one thing that you can't take away, but just remember. Da, 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 da. If loving me is easy, Going back is harder. What a touching love song lyric. Hmm? Well, I hope this will please my viewers. Huh? Pardon me, let me say viewers, not my viewers. They don't belong to me. I hope this will please viewers. Okay, I think it's okay, my viewers. Pardon me if I'm wrong. Anyway, um, next story: Unforgettables. My first and only Unforgettables. My first and only. Here it is. Unforgettables. My first and only. Then the following story. I wish you would tell me. I wish you would tell me. I wish you would tell me by Philomena. Was written by Philomena. And Unforgettable was written by Makteki Takuradi. Philomena is in Accra. Makteki Takuradi. So let's go to Makteki Takuradi. The story of Makteki Takuradi. Unforgettables. My first and only, sorry. It starts. 3 years ago, I entered a senior secondary school in Cape Coast for my secondary education. Luckily for me, some of the seniors were people I had known from my previous school. One of them introduced me to one of the prefects. Full stop. I felt weak in the knees when I was introduced to him. Full stop. He wasn't all that good looking, but my heart pounded like crazy. Oh my God. Ever since that day on, I couldn't stop thinking about him. I wanted to tell him how I felt about him, but all my friends thought that I was crazy. But I wasn't, but I honestly couldn't help myself. Mm. So the title is Unforgettables. When I was in SS2, that's senior secondary school, he completed and left the town for the university in Kumasi, where his mother lived. For the rest of the years up to last year, and I saw him off and on for only a few times. But each time I saw him, I still felt the heartbeats. Oh my God! I tell you, man's heart is seeing problems. Hmm? Man's heart is seeing problems. Uh, Now, new sentence. It's been ages now, but I've never forgotten the experience I had when I first saw him. That feeling kept me alive, and I'm still thinking about him. That feeling kept me alive and still thinking about him. Full stop paragraph. In those days, I couldn't accept anyone else, even if a good guy came near me. I still think of I still think of this guy in who I loved at the first sight, at the very first glance. I don't understand why. Even when he's not here, I hardly even know him. Even let me take that again. Uh, 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 I don't understand why, even when he's not here, I hardly even know him. He kept me alive for the past 8 years. Yay! Even through the years he was not around. This also looks like a song, the lyrics of a song. Hmm? Okay, I tell you, people are good writers. Hmm? Even during the years he was not around. Yes. Paragraph. Love at the first sight could be sweet, but when you love someone so much but are never able to tell the person and just watch him walk away from you but still thinking about him is the most difficult thing. Yes, it's the most difficult thing. Full stop. Well, I guess time can cure pain. I still think of him sometimes, but it does hurt but it doesn't hurt as much anymore because I grew up and finally found someone that can really love me. Martini, Takradi. Mm. So that is it. The next is we are now going to Philomena's story, Philomena of Tema, Accra, Ghana. Mm. I wish you would tell me. That's the title. My boyfriend and I, my boyfriend and I, before we went out, we were really good friends. In fact, We knew each other for about 4 years, but we got even closer after that and said I was one after that and said I was one person he would also want to be by. I think something is missing in the sentence. And he said or something like that. Okay, let's go. Uh, I was very pleased and excited to hear those sweet words. Paragraph. He hadn't formally proposed to me, but we were close. I wish he would. I wish he would, and didn't feel too comfortable telling him I loved him. Meaning, I would be the first person to propose. Full stop. One night, he came to visit me. Sorry, pardon me. One night, he came to visit me. It was very late, and I wondered why that late hour. Full stop. He apologized to me for coming that late and said he came because I was on my own, because I was on his mind and he just couldn't sleep. Wow, but that's risky, my man. That's risky. Hmm? He sat outside and talked. We sat outside and talked for a while. He asked me to hug him, and I did. Then he started talking about going out, and he asked me if I had a boyfriend. I answered in the negative, and then asked me if I would like to go out with him. I said yes, and hugged me again for a while, pressing my body hard against his. Kai. Yes, pressing my body hard against his. Paragraph. I felt weird because I knew him for a long time, but I always enjoyed that night. But I will always enjoy that night and will remember it forever and ever. Yay! Only one hug. Remember it forever and ever. Mm. It's been 4 months. It's been 4 months now since we started going out, and he told me just last week he fancied me right from the first time he saw me, and that was 4 years ago. But I will never forget that night he asked me out. I will love him forever. Philomena Tema. Mm. Mm-mm. Okay, so let's see if I can read the. I think the heading is strong, the beginning is strong. The what do you call it? The preface. Let me take that again. Over the years, many people who have gone through heart-throbbing and had taken experiences and breathtaking experiences send us their pieces to be published. Finally, we bring a okay. It's okay. We can go back to. You can always get it back. So that is page 9. Let's see what is on page 10. You see why I used to buy these papers? Mhm. But unfortunately, sometimes I wouldn't get time to read all the stories. But some I read them, and some I read and forget. Now we come to the spiritual aspect of life. Share a thought, then leadership. And the usual writer here is Martin Akko Abed. Uh, then Botwe 200, 2000. Then it happened to me. My enemies became my friends. Then the biggest regret, the price. Share a thought. That's what we will read now. Share a thought. Then we'll come here, and then here, and then here. That's if there is enough time for that. Uh, Leadership. Share a thought. Leadership is necessary in all human institutions. A mass of people without a leader. Oh no, I think we've done this. This is a repetition. Mm, I think so. Leadership could be seen and needed at political. Yeah, we've done it. We've done it. It's a repeat. Then we go to campus life. So those people who didn't get it, you just go back to my previous episodes and you get it. By Martin, our leadership. Now we go to campus life. I believe this is going to be a new story. Yes, it's a new story from the title. Butchway 2000. My Victory Chochu. So, by Victoria Chochu, sorry. Butchway 2000. Hmm? Butchway 2000 by Victoria Chochu. By Victoria Chochu. Hmm? Oh, it begins. Oh, it's not true. In inverted commas. Was all I could say. And then I burst out crying. But what? Who? When? Where? Why? How? Hmm? Inverted commas close. What has happened to cause an abrupt change in everything concerning the school? Full stop. I was taken aback. As a student in my third year, staying in this peaceful and loving and loving abdomen of my beloved school, I never heard of such an incident until now. I was at sea. Just a trip caused this mess. I had gone on lots of trips throughout my stay in Aburi Girls Secondary School and therefore was not willing to allow this trip to pass me by. This trip was to Cape Coast in Ghana. Aburi was in Ghana, so the story is a Ghanaian story about Ghanaians for, for the world. Mhm. Not for Ghanaians, but for the world. Okay. Had my name been written down in black and white by the organizing secretary who was from my former school 2 days before the trip? That's the question. No. I later went to see her around 8:30 p.m. ready with my fare, only to be told, "Oh, Chochu, I'm sorry, but I have compiled all the names and I couldn't contact you. Moreover, the list has been signed by the headmistress and is even with the patroness." Oh, disappointment, Chochu. Okay, full stop. Paragraph. You should have been there to see the lines of disappointment on my forehead. Oh, people are good writers. They say you have been there to see the lines on my forehead. Eh? You should have been there to see the lines of disappointment on my forehead. But I was determined to go. Yes, come what may. I asked her again, and she said all avenues were exhausted and that I couldn't go. Okay, as students, I therefore suggested that as students, some will at all costs change their minds and cancel out their names at the last hour. So she should write my name somewhere and contact me need if he needs if he need a rose. If they need a rose, the th is not there, it's just he. So I'm correcting now. If they need a rose, full stop. Paragraph. As I was walking away from her, she called me back, but I told her not to worry and, and left for my classroom. I was very much disappointed by what she told me. But wait a minute, what is that feeling I'm having? Although I was disappointed, I never regretted the fact that my name was not on the list and had a thought I knew was and had a thought I knew wasn't a good one. But to face facts, I had a premonition. What if an ACC then da, 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 I think she means accident. Hmm? So, but what if an ac? So let me complete it. If an accident should occur, these are my words. Hmm? Okay. Then paragraph. No, stop it. I said to myself, why should I be thinking of accidents this time? But I still felt something would happen. Oh, because the type of butchery to Sahara. But I still felt something would happen. You see, mankind, because she didn't get the chance to go, now what came to her mind to console her was the thought of accident happening to the group that succeeded in going, that succeeded in getting their names on the itinerary. Hmm? Okay. Uh, I told a few friends and they encouraged me to forget about the trip. The next day, that was the D-Day morning, I was informed by two good friends who had their names on the list already, already that the organizing secretary cancelled out a lot of names. I became excited and asked, "So, did you write down my name?" She said she hadn't because I said I wouldn't like to go again. In other words, she had abandoned the idea of going, not to go again. She hadn't gone again. She said, "I wouldn't like to go." That means she had abandoned the idea of going. Mm. What's her name? Victoria. Victoria Chuchu had abandoned the idea of going. Oh, I've lost the place, and I wish I could join them. Okay, let me go back a bit. The next day, the D-Day, I became excited and asked. So, she said she hadn't because I said I wouldn't like to go again. I felt unhappy when they set off and wished I could join them. Full stop paragraph. God made a way. It was neither my chance nor It was neither by chance nor by choice that I escaped that fatal accident involving the Aburi girls students on May 20th, 2000 at exactly 1 p.m. narrowly. Dear reader, this is no luck or joke. Dear reader, this is no luck or joke. And all have got to say to someone special is thank you for delivering me from the fatal accident. Dear Father, Amen. Oh, and all I've got to say, okay, there is no I there, to say thank you for delivering me from the fatal accident, dear Father. In other words, there was actually an accident. So you see, this girl was getting the inspiration. Everything indicated that she shouldn't make the journey, but self wanted her to go. But then that self has been conquered by the spiritual institution for her not to go. Mm. And it ended up well for her. Okay, next story. It happened to me. My enemies became my friends. Who is the writer? Patrick Naughty. Can we finish it? Yes, I think we can. Let's see. It should be the last story. Oh, okay. Maybe we should put it in the fridge for the next episode, so that it won't be too fast, it won't be too pressurized. We will stop here, viewers, until our next episode. Thank you very much. Ilan Lekai. Bye bye. May God bless you all.